Sharon Luska here from My Crafty Greetings, and we are doing a Scrappy Tails video today. It's Midsummer Night's Dream release, and I am not in a Midsummer's Night Dream here. We are invaded by caterpillars. The caterpillars have eaten off all the canopies of so many of our trees. These trees are like 200-year-old trees, and we are so sad. On a more positive note, you could win all these stamp sets over on Scrappy Tails Instagram. Now, I have already used this particular die set. It is the A7 Ivy Branch cover plate, and I love it. And I also pulled out the Fairy Flowers die set here. Now, that's on a 5x7 card base that I'm showing you here. These are all such a great size, and they would fill up a 5x7 card no problem. And of course, there's that lovely wooden stump at the bottom. And then this is your regular note card size. So if you're wondering how these would all fit together for either size card, they're perfect. Now this particular one is the Fairy Silhouettes die. Aren't those fairies cute? Oh my goodness. And even on a 5x7 card, you can see how quickly they'll fill up your card base and make you a beautiful vignette of flowers and fairies and wood stumps, whatever it is you want to put together, or if you're going to put it on your little card bases, you can do that too. Now I've gone ahead and cut out this A7 Ivy Branch cover plate, and I have got also some holographic, it's just cheap holographic paper from Michaels. It's new in their paper pack section. It's not super shiny, but it does the job. And what I'm doing is offsetting all of my little die cuts here so that I have little tiny edges of hologram showing. And you'll see what we're doing with that because I'm trying to do the last twilight of evening. And I wanted to make sure that everything had just a glow as the sun was setting. So you can see here the two fairies that were friends sitting together. You can trim them off, and then that way they can look like they're flying or they can look like they're sitting, whatever you want. But the nice thing about Sabrina's dies is she always plans everything so that there's more ways of using it than just what's right in front of you. And you may have seen with the A7 cover plate die that that ivy I actually turned into an underwater scene in my last video. There also was a little sneak peek of a birthday thing. So anyways, this is my secret weapon today. This is holographic vinyl from Cricut. You might be able to find some of this in a maybe a gift bag or something like that. But anyways, and then we're going to be doing some alcohol inks, and I typically save my packaging like this so that I've got plates to catch all that ink so that it doesn't get all over the place. Now this is a piece of Cricut mask that I die cut into a circle, and I'm just cutting it in half because we're going to make the sun slowly going down on the horizon. And we're gonna take this and mask it off as we're gonna be doing our alcohol inking, and then this is going to make my horizon line. But we're gonna do something a little different here. This is Vaseline, and it's just on a couple foam sponges here, and I'm just gonna tap some in right on the edge of that tape so that we have a nice glowing horizon. And then I'm gonna take my finger and just dab it to just make it look like there's a little bit of fire up on the horizon and a few little spots hitting the sky, because we really want to make sure that some of this holographic vinyl actually shows through. And I don't know if I said, but I've actually attached it to just a thick waste piece of acetate from packaging. Here is my 99% alcohol, and I'm gonna pour this liberally all over, and the first thing we're gonna be hitting is the pitch black alcohol ink. You wanna make sure that you get this on liberally at the top and the bottom, because naturally as the sun is leaving the evening sky, we end up having dark mostly in the high sky and along the ground, and the last little bit of sun glowing for the day as it pops down away from the horizon ends up being on our horizon line. So it sounds like I'm giving like a science lesson here. Anyways, don't be afraid to reinforce the pitch black too by dropping in a couple more drops into the ink that you've already got down there, watered down with alcohol. And then go ahead and hit it. I like to hit it with my heat tool. Now I do have my windows open and I'm wearing the appropriate gear to keep myself safe, because naturally you want to remember that there is resin in the alcohol colors themselves, and you just want to be careful that you don't overwhelm yourself with the odor. So now I'm just taking my brush to tap in, because there's some specific areas that I want this blue to show up, so that as we go down the night sky, there's a gradient of black to blue to purple and then to this very, very light color here. And that's going to give the top of the sky a chance to dry as we tap in that kind of light purple glow that's going to be around the sinking sun and the horizon line. So this is the mediary purple that we're going to be putting in. It's wild plum. And I have watered these down just so that I don't get too intense an appearance, because I really do want this holographic vinyl to go to work. And you can start to see some of the sheen as the alcohol ink is drying here. You can start to see how this is going to come together. And I promise you, when you see the final pictures of how this turned out, you're going to want to do this. This is so way cool. It's not even funny. So now I've added some more alcohol, and I'm just making this turn into that streaky skyline and also the streaky ground. And once we get it all dried up here, I'm going to go ahead and correct some of the spaces that are missing alcohol ink. And I'm just going to tap little dabs into place of the purple. And then that will close up the full look of the evening sky without us getting too much alcohol ink on here. So I just wanted to say too, you guys have been so incredibly supportive of my channel, and you've been using my affiliate links, which are always in my drop down box below, but I am just blown away with the amount of support you all have shown me. I can't thank you enough. You're all amazing. And it really means a lot to me that Sabrina knows that I'm working really, really hard to try and bring great ideas to you for these releases that she has, because I truly love this product line, and she's a new businesswoman. She can really use the support, and this is my new venture as well. So I really enjoy the fact that you guys are doing what you can for me by clicking those links and making sure that I'm acknowledged for the efforts that I make. But anyways, I just wanted to say thank you, because wow, just amazing. You guys are amazing, absolutely amazing. So tapping in the last little bits of color here, and I'm just kind of drying them down. We are going to lift up that mask for a little bit of a reveal here. And so this is what I was working for, is for this glowing sun. And then the areas that have the Vaseline in them, I'm just going to give them a little bit of a rub, because the alcohol ink will not adhere to the vinyl where there is Vaseline. And I've done a previous video where I stamped with Vaseline and had some wild fun with alcohol ink. Worthwhile checking out. It's in my playlist. So you can see here, this is going to be the cover plate that's going around. Now I took some fun foam in black, because I really wanted the sides to be black, and double layered it up and cut myself some really, really thin strips here, just to hold this away from the background, to give it that much more dimension and that much more drama when we're putting this all together. I also cut some extra pieces to put behind my little tiny images here. Now I found that once I got this all peeled off, because it's a little wiggly and it's very sticky, you want to make sure that you flip it face down and match it up from the back. And that's why it's nice to use a good firm piece of salvage plastic on the back of that vinyl, because it gives you something that is going to be able to lay down properly. So I've got my little tree trunk here, or tree stump. Oh, hopefully we don't end up having tons of tree stumps around our property. We're launching a battle with these stupid caterpillars. We got hundreds of thousands of them. They're stripping trees in a matter of 3 or 4 days. It's crazy. So hopefully we don't end up with tons more stumps at our place. But we're going to stick the little fairy girl on here, and you can see she's got her hand up. We're going to add something to her hand a little bit. It's so cute, because there's actually stars and butterflies in the fairy die set that you can die cut for the fairy to hold. And then I'm adding in some of the botanicals in the corner just to dress this all up and give it a really cool, unique look. And the leaves come separately, so I just slid those in there. When you die cut the piece itself, it die cuts the stem and the flowers, and then just below that, the leaves come with it, but they kind of pop off so that you can move them around, which I think is so totally cool. Now, this is the fairy that we cut apart from the pear, and you can see she very much looks like she's flying. She actually kind of looks almost a little bit like an angel. I don't know. I think it's cool, and I didn't glue both layers of her wings together because I wanted to kind of pull them apart so it really looked like she was airborne. And then I just made sure that I glued her feet down to the branches there to hold everything together. So here it is with those stars and the holographic, and then I pulled out some little teeny tiny star sequins, glued them into the background, and you can see all the different look that this gives. Now I stamped the inside. I wanted to do a magical and happy birthday wishes. And what I loved about this card is it has so many different looks depending on the time of day that you look at it. It is the type of card that if you put it on display, everybody is going to pick it up and look at it. I wholeheartedly encourage you to give this card a try. I went a little overboard on all the different images, but I was just so excited and how cool it turned out. Now, if you haven't subscribed to me, I sure would love it if you would. Leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to come back and join me for my next video. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day. Thanks. Bye.